keep challenging them to stay healthy and keep competing.
Yeah, and he came from the Bahamas and played football growing up. I
Yeah.
feel like he's still like a big piece of moldable clay. I mean, he's been a couple years in college, but
That's
he
right.
blew up right away naturally just first year playing this game.
Yeah, he allowed all the D linemen, especially the new guys, to tell their story, and he shared their story with the defensive line room. And new to football, first time playing football was when he moved to Miami, his junior year in high school, and got his first offer. Started blowing up in terms of offers because of his size and his ability. And to learn the game that fast and apply his athleticism to the game. You can see that those elements when you see him play, when you see him practice, and I think the sky's the limit. The future's bright for him.
Did you see that? I mean, he didn't play a ton at Ohio, but did you see some of that like talent in there when you were
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, size and look for the intangibles when I look at film. Can he bend? Can he move laterally? Can he transition from speed to power? And he showed all those things at that girth, at that size, and he played winning football, at Ohio. So they made it to the MAC championship, and he's a major contributor for those guys and great student, and also a good football player. So, yeah.
Denzel told us he didn't play a lot of nose tackle until he got here. Was there a big adjustment period for him?
Yeah, I believe he played more of a 4-down scheme. So he played more of a 2 technique and a 3 technique. But the true zero nose position, that's a new position for him. But I'm telling you, it looks like he's a natural spot for that position. He's made significant growth since he's come in the spring in the weight room, how he changed his body, how he runs, how he trains, and translating that to the field has been impressive.
Do you have to find creative ways to recruit that position, whether it's in the portal or out on the recruiting trail with high school kids? I know T-Rod didn't really play that much at that position before he brought him in. It was a transition. It just seems like because of what you do defensively, you have to get creative in finding guys that can play that zero.
Yeah, T-Raw was a unique story too. With T-Raw, he had some practice film that he put out there showing him as a scout D-line when Northwestern was preparing to play Illinois. Okay. So he was playing a zero nose in practice, and those clips were impressive. Okay. And so that was something, like I said before, I'm looking for the intangibles. Can you bend? Can you play with extension? Can you transition from speed to power to speed? And those are things he showed in those few clips. And so from there, it was the build relationships, meet him in person, make sure the size is right. But, we're glad to have him as well, because he's competing for a starting role too. You got T-Raw and Denzel competing. That's good for our defense, for our front.
I wanted to ask you about your freshmen. I know it's their first fall camp and it's early, but what do you like about them from what you've seen early on?
Yeah, and I love what they bring to the table. Pat Farrell, 6'6", 270 pounds. His junior year, he was 200 pounds.
Yeah.
200 pounds of junior. Coach Kuska told me about him. He had a long, lean guy that had some potential, and you turn on the tape and you see him flying around sideline to sideline. Senior year, he's 240. Now he's 270. He's learning how to move with his body, and that's a young man that we've seen significant growth. He started off in baseball. And so what I like about D linemen is we look for guys that have multiple skill sets, and it translates in terms of movements, bend. With him, he has the length. He can play with extension. He's learning how to restart his feet on contact, but it's been tremendous growth with Pat. Alex Bray was unique because he didn't have many offers. So my recruiting style, I don't care about who's offered, and all that stuff, but we had an opportunity to coach him up at a padded camp. So he came and he was the best D lineman at the camp. And knowing that he's a wrestler, third in the state of Missouri, tough, got a chance to go see him practice wrestling. Very impressive. He's one of our better pass rushers. And so you can look forward to seeing him this season. We just obviously keep him healthy, take it a day at a time, but he's doing a good job for us.
What about Jeremiah? What do you love about him?
Yeah, what I love about Jeremiah Warren is he's a dynamic player on the defensive line. Similar to Johnny Newton, he can play all positions. He can play the nose position. That's what we've trained him as. But he's athletic enough and powerful enough to play that tackle position as well. He's probably out of that nose tackle position. He's the most dynamic, most quickest. Just the guy who can bend and change direction really well at that position. So really excited about him. Yeah.
What can having
Johnny and Keith around do for those younger guys this year?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, even from the summer, Johnny and Keith both they take time with those guys to watch more film. We gave the defensive line a project where we put the older guys and we matched them up with a young guy, and we gave them a project and they taught them the defense, they taught them the offensive formation identification, they taught them how to get into a stance, they taught them how to draw run fits, and so guys like Keith and Johnny, to put them in leadership roles is key because they're already on the spotlight. And so you're already going to get younger guys that's going to gravitate to them, but also they're a type of young men that want to reach back out to those guys and bring them along. Talk to the guys about leaving their jersey in a better place, and that's something they're doing.
Have you thought about life without them? Because eventually they're going to leave. Have you thought about coaching without those guys on your team?
No, I'm just focused on right now. I'm just focused on right now. We were just talking about want to know mentality. That's the theme of our camp, and so we're just focusing on today. It's practice number 12, so we just want to take advantage of today's practice. So I haven't thought about what that room would be like without them, but I'm focusing on developing the younger guys and the next man in because anything can happen.
Right.
But yeah.
Do they set a bar for the next people coming in? Let's set a high bar for the guys that follow them.
Yeah, every opportunity we get, we want to elevate the standard. We talk about stacking days, and so when we get a practice, when we get a game, we want to stack the performance from before. So it's all about getting better, taking an inch step.
I know Sid McConnell missed a couple of days practice, but is he a guy that's kind of ready to take a next step for you?
Yeah, Sid has had a tremendous spring. He's having a good camp as well. He's a guy that can play all three positions as well. Very, very similar to Keith Randolph. So he's coming along as well. He's going to play a lot of snaps for us this year.
First preseason All-American team.